So I'm Erica Perez-Smith. I am a geography and social subjects teacher at Larbert High School in Falkirk. I think it's just something I've always wanted to do. Like when I was in school, I always knew I wanted to be a teacher. I've been told I've been bossy my whole life, so I think it just comes naturally. But yeah, I really love working with young people as well. Geography was a subject that I always just really enjoyed at school, and so it was kind of the obvious choice to then go into geography teaching at the end. Yeah, so I think that they're much more aware than they've ever been. I don't think we've ever had a group of young people, even in my relatively short teaching career, who are so politically and socially and environmentally aware as they are right now. I think that young people are maybe due a bit more credit in terms of how they feel about it. I do think a lot of it comes from home as well though, so there's some kids who it's really, really important and some other kids who it's less important to, and I think it's our job to make them all aware that actually it is going to affect them and it is going to affect their children. And I think, yeah, young people are aware of its urgency and its importance, but as teachers we have to actually explain to them how serious it is and actually they can make a difference, that they can be the ones that change it. Quite firmly believe it is not the job of geographers. It shouldn't just be children who take geography and who take biology that get this experience. Like, it absolutely needs to happen across the curriculum. It's part of our subjects, it's been our bread and butter for a really long time, but it shouldn't just be those kids who opt to take our subject who get this experience. It really needs to be all children, because they're all going to go on and experience it. So my role for delivering the S2 materials was really laying the foundations of recapping what they'd learned in S1 about the causes of climate change and so forth, and then really thinking about the small changes. That was kind of what I was going for, was I wanted to get a real sense of scale of the problem. So we talk about tons, we talk about area, and these things are quite abstract for young people, particularly of that age group. They maybe don't really know what that means, and so I wanted to get these children to get a good idea of what sort of scale we're talking about with climate change, how big the problem is, but also how small incremental changes can make the big differences. Because I think it can become a bit overwhelming for children when we talk about these impacts and the disasters that can happen and how terrible it is, and actually they feel a bit like, oh well, I can't help, I can't make a difference. And I wanted it to become clear in the S2 stuff what small changes can make to the big picture, and think about yeah, the scale of it and how we can scale it down to their appropriate size.